Okay, so for today I'm going to be teaching you how to make the tornado twists from my Nejire cosplay. This is actually made very simply out of glue and hair wefts. I'm going to show you the exact method that I used to do this. These are the newer ones that I made, and these are the old ones that I made. These were the rush ones. I made these in about, I would like to say, probably 6 hours, and I did do them the day before the convention. The wood glue I used on this isn't very good. If you can tell, there is some really nasty gooping on the tips. Luckily nobody saw, but I was like thinking about it constantly. This is the finished product. They look a lot cleaner and they don't have as many flyaways, and I think they're going to sit nicer on my head because, well, obviously they just look better. To start, you are going to need a cardboard roll, an empty one, probably from like a paper towel tube. You are also going to need hair wefts. I used the 10-inch ponytail from Epic Cosplay, and I didn't need to trim really after that. Which, here, let's arrange that better. Scissors. You will also need, let's move this out of the way, cling wrap, a giant tub of glue. Let's see, let me see if I can even get this. I use like this huge tub of glue that I bought at Michael's when it was on sale for $1 or something ridiculous like that. A 1-inch chip brush and a container to hold your glue. I'm just gonna reuse this one. It was actually a takeout container I cleaned out, which I'm probably going to use for the rest of my life to hold my glue. To get started, you are going to take your cardboard roll and a small piece of cling wrap. It doesn't need to be too big, it just needs to like cover the roll, like so. And then you are going to get your container and pour a little tiny bit of glue in. The wefts that I took from the ponytail, I trimmed the wefts out of the ponytail itself, and then I cut the wefts into about 3/4 inch pieces, like so. So for the first layer, which is the toughest, I'm gonna be honest, I'm just going to go ahead and place it down and then roll it around. It's not going to stay in place, but that's what the glue is for. So that first weft you see, I put kind of a pretty big band of glue around it. That's fine. It's not, it does kind of need to be thick because then you're going to put your second layer on. Now for my first one, what I did is I had actually blow dried between wefts so that it could attach faster. I actually found in my second method that doing all the wefts at once and then waiting overnight for them to dry was a cleaner product. But I didn't have that time when I was making these. So there's that. And then you just put on your third weft. So the glue after the first weft is applied is holding the weft in place when you lay it down, which is why the first weft isn't as important. And you can walk away from this and like continue doing it later. I ended up spending 2 days on mine because I was working on it at night. It's just applying the first weft is the most annoying part, and it's not even that annoying. It's not that bad. So if you see, there's this giant band of glue around each weft, and I'm going to show you how to take care of that now. Once you reach the right amount of thickness and the right amount of wefts that you want to use, you're going to wait for it to dry, and I'll show you what to do. I made this handy dandy weft section already. Again, I did not use the same amount of wefts that I used in my originals, or my version 2, because I just don't plan on using this in the future. And the version 2, I probably used about 20 or 30 wefts, and that's just a lot of hair, and we don't need that right now. So You just pull your cardboard tube out and you got your little tornado going on here. And you just kind of carefully remove the plastic from the hair. So it actually stays up pretty well on its own. And if you notice, the glue did stick to the hairs. And we're gonna take care of that right now. You're gonna get your hair cutting scissors or whatever scissors you wanna use. Don't use sewing scissors. And you're just going to go along the edge and you're going to trim off the excess hair and the excess glue. You might even want to go a little bit into the actual wefts and trim some of the hair off just to make sure that there is no glue really sticking out to make it very, very clean. So if you see there's still like some hairs that are poking out, you just want to trim those off just to make sure that everything is nice and clean. You can shape the ends and taper them more, but this is the final result. Okay, time to go ahead and put these horns on this thing. So I did notice that when I made my original horns, I did make them too close together because I was rushing and I didn't really consider that when it's on my massive head that the horns will touch. So I'm going to make these new ones further apart. So Nejire's horns specifically go out. You guys are going to be seeing this upside down, and you're going to actually hot glue the hair first because you trim off the wefts. Unpictured, you trim the wefts off. Here, this is how you trim off the wefts, just so that nobody goes insane on me. You cut at an angle and it's trimmed. If you have babby hands, don't just go in and touch hot glue. I know this seems like I'm insane because I'm just like touching hot glue like it's nothing, but I've gotten so many burns from hot glue that this literally is nothing. This is just me forming things with my hands. Just don't touch it directly out of the hot glue gun. And this is actually just going to keep your wefts together. Kind of mark them where they're going to be placed. So I did front, top, and back. And if you mess up, you can always just blast a heat gun on it to remelt the glue and take it apart, kind of clean up the glue a little bit, and then, you know, start all over. The base isn't going to be as clean as you want it to be when it's done, but it's going to be covered up by the wig no matter what. This is what you're going to have at the very end. Now remember what I said about the headband earlier, where it looks like it's absolutely perfect in terms of how wide apart they are, but once it's on your head, they're actually touching and they're too close. And this one's much better because once this is going to be on my giant head, they're actually going to be kind of more parallel, which is, with Nejire, that is how they are. They're like more parallel, they go more straight up and down, and they're not like trying to kiss each other at the top. This glue glob right here is going to be completely covered by Nejire's hair, so I'm really not concerned about that. They're really sturdy, they stand up on their own, and they look way nicer than the old ones that kind of look like a big old mess. So thank you so much for joining me on this adventure of making hair spirals. I hope this helps in your cosplay experience. And that's it. Please like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, and follow my Instagram and my Facebook. Links are down below. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!